Welcome once again here to Bethel University in Mishawaka, Indiana. I'm Paul Condry, the president and founder of the Regional Radio Sports Network. Glad you could join us. Bethel University Women's Soccer here today. Glad to have them. Earlier today, we had a chance to visit with some of the other programs here on the Mishawaka campus and had a chance to spend some time with Jason Freeman, the outstanding young head coach of the Pilots. And then we're going to go in from left to right, as you see on your screen, or to my left to your right, Leena Thomas, along with Kate Sherwood and Grace Beck, joining us here today. And Leena, who grew up and went to John Glenn High School. Kate, the local product here, went to Penn High School. And Grace Beck, she grew up in the OH. Comes from Akron, Ohio. We're going to start with Grace. Okay, something had to be a wonderful draw to get you to come over here from Ohio. What was it? What was it like making the decision to come in to beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana?
Yeah, it was a big decision. I kind of looked at all the Indiana schools, Crossroads League. I narrowed it down between Mount Vernon, which is in the OH, sure, and then Bethel University. Did a second visit to both. And I think through prayer and just talking to professors and coaches, I decided on the beautiful Mishawaka area.
There you go. I think you made a good decision. Kate, you grew up here. This is home for you. I know your dad. Dad was a member of the baseball team when as a coaching staff with Seth when I first started here. I don't know, 20 plus years ago. And so this is a local thing for you. And how many members of the family have come through the hallowed halls here at Bethel University?
I don't even think I can count them on my fingers. That's how many have come here. I kind of joked that I was forced to come to Bethel because my great-grandpa, great-grandma, grandma, grandpa, aunt and uncle, and mom and dad, and brother and I have all been through these doors. So it was not actually forced. I decided to come here, but I've had a lot of family come through Bethel.
Well, that's neat for your standpoint. It's gone from college to university.
Yep.
This beautiful new Championship Plaza, powered by First Source Bank, is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember the first time I walked in here, we were making the transition from the Goodman Auditorium Gymnasium to doing men's basketball over here, so that'll take you back. And I remember when we dedicated Jenkins Stadium across the way, and there was not even a soccer field over there for all intents and purposes back when I first arrived here and became involved with this institution. So you've had a chance to see it really evolve in a really cool situation. So now you're probably the best recruiter that Bethel has, right?
Yep. My mom uses me all the time as recruitment.
Well, there you go. All right, let's talk with Leena Thomas. Leena, so let's just talk about your decision to come up from John Glenn High School to be a part of this. You played 4 years of high school soccer for the Glenn Falcons. Give us an idea, what was the lure for you to come to BU?
Yeah, I kind of like Grace looked at a lot of the Crossroad League schools, and I actually met Jason doing the South Bend Lions youth program, and so that's kind of where I got to learn more about the coaching staff, and I practiced with Bethel a few times, and I just really liked the culture and the coaching staff, and so that was really what pulled me in.
Well, just, half a dozen seasons ago, this was a program that was really, really struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of credit has to go to Jason for, number one, changing the culture, changing the expectations. I think that is the coolest thing in the world. I mean, we're here to win, and we want to honor God with our gifts and our talents. And I think that kind of mindset and changing that is a really a positive situation. So, Leena, let me start with you about the culture now. As you find yourself in this situation, what's the difference and how has he matured not only as a coach and how the culture has evolved into something really, really special here?
Yeah, I think, like you said, the expectation now is that we're going to win. We all go to practice now and, we're pushing each other. And it's competitive. Sometimes you have teams where you know who the starting lineup is, but now, we have people that are, fighting for their position and stuff. And so I think that's been really cool to be a part of and just to see it grow, especially with our new coming class this year. I think we'll have a lot of talent that's added.
I mean, for you as an all-conference performer, MVP, I mean, you were really, really good as a high school player. What was the biggest eye-opening experience for you as you became a college athlete after having a really successful prep career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just the level is so different, and just the talent that you're a part of, because in high school there's a lot of there's more differences in your teams. There's not always the competition, But in college, like, you're always playing against tough teams. Even if you think you can go in and win the game, like, you still have to fight for it. You have to show up every time. And I think that was the biggest difference for me.
Okay, what's from you, from coming from Penn High School, you played there for 4 years. Give us an idea on was there a significant culture change from a very successful Penn program to coming in here to Bethel and watching Jason really kind of like a potter molds the clay into something special?
Yeah, I think going to a big high school, you're definitely not a Christ-centered team. Our program was great and very successful, but we didn't have the glue of Christ holding us together. And I think at Bethel, when I think of our culture, it's definitely a very Christ-centered program. I mean, Jason has implemented lots of leadership on our team within the team. So girls stepping up and taking care of devotions or taking care of prayer at the end of practice. And I really think our team is mission-focused in that way, and that's been a big difference maker.
Grace, you made the decision, Bethel, Mount Vernon. So you decided to stay in this league. So something had to be special for you. But you also were a 4-year player in high school. Was it an eye-opening experience to see the talent, not only in the league as a whole as some of the opponents, and probably against people who you played against in high school, as well as on your own team, that difference? Was it a big jump for you from a technical as well as a talent standpoint?
Are you saying the jump from high school to Crossroads League?
Yes.
Yeah. My high school team was actually very successful. I graduated with 4 other players that were going to play in college, and our league was very competitive. So a lot of the girls I defended, played against, then went to Division I programs. But anytime you step into the college level, Crossroads League or anywhere, it's just a huge step in the speed of play. But I had seen similar like forwards in my club play and also high school play that I don't think it was a shock to me, but it was a challenge for me.
Well, obviously you're an all-academic Crossroads League selection, so talk about making sure that we're doing the right things, so as I like to say, crossing the T's and dotting the I's in the right spots. So what was it like for you academically, making the change from high school to not only being successful in the classroom? So talk about your success there.
Yeah, so I'm a double major, so that kind of ups my class load then as well. Our team does a great job. We're quizzing each other on the bus. Some of my teammates are tutors in our academic center, and so we'd have like 5 or 6 of us a night in our learning commons just studying together, working hard together. But I think honestly playing a sport and the time management that requires really pushes you in the classroom as well as on the field, and I think that comes from the top of our program down to the bottom.
Grace, so when talking with Coach Freeman earlier, he mentioned some other gals on this team that are going to have good years. And I found out that Audrey Lurch is coming back, and obviously a young lady who scored 14 goals last year. In addition to her, who else on this team has to have another spectacular year or a much better year than they had last year for you guys to knock out that door and contend for that Crossroads League championship?
I'd honestly say I see a lot of potential in Aubrey Vervinkt. I think that she's a player that sees the game very well, a very versatile player. And she had a very good freshman season. I think if she can step up to the plate and understand that she's got a year under her belt and that she's a leader in technical abilities and soccer IQ, I think for her to have her best season would be very beneficial to our team.
Are you going to take an extra year for you? Or have you made that decision yet, or is it premature? I mean, or is this the last year for sure? Because I thought for sure that when I was doing my homework that Audrey was going, but I found out today from Jason that she's coming back. So have you made a decision, or am I putting you on the spot?
You're not putting me on the spot. I'm excited to announce that I am returning for my 5th year.
Awesome. That's great news. The guy just fell off his chair over there was Coach Freeman. He's very excited about that. So, all right, Kate, I want you to talk to me from your perspective on the makeup and the chemistry of your group. I know that you were talking about the the Christ-centered mindset that you want to have, but there also has to be some athletic mindsets and some athletic goals, as well as some individual goals to make this unit run collectively as a team. So can you speak to some of the other student athletes, or maybe some that's already been mentioned, or maybe here at the table, who's going to have great years?
I think Leena Thomas, sitting to my right, is going to have a pretty good season. She'll be a sophomore this year, and her freshman year was very successful. I think she really stepped up and became a leader into our program, but I think as one of our center mids, she's going to have to stay very organized and work hard this season. I think she can do it.
Leena, how about you? Same question. I mean, who's going to have a monster year for you guys to be competitive and win this league?
I would second what Grace said. I think Aubrey Vervinkt is she has great potential, and she did well last year, and I think that she has like the potential to do even more this year. She can play a lot of different positions, and she just needs to step up and take ownership of like the ability that she knows she has.
One of the things that I have found out in the quarter century that I've been here working in conjunction with Bethel College and then Bethel University is that the coach can be a really good recruiter, but the athletes have got to be, without question, the best recruiters. So when the athletes come on to campus, they're making that campus visit, and I've heard athlete upon athlete through the years say, well, when I came on my visit, I just fell in love with the team and the atmosphere. So, Leena, let me talk with you about that. Atmosphere, creating an atmosphere that is going to want to bring future stars to the Bethel women's soccer program. What, from the outside coming in, what do you guys make it special for those future pilots?
I just think that we're a very welcoming team. Like when we have new players come just to practice and see what our program is like, we just we welcome them in. We include them in like our passing or whatever before practice starts. We help show them around if they need anything, and then also just in practice, we always show up and make it competitive. We work hard every practice, and so it's like we're training for games. It's not just we're there just to train. It's the mentality that we're getting better each time. And I think that draws in a lot of people.
All right, Kate, put you on the spot here. Jason Freeman, what's the funniest thing that you've seen him do, or what's the craziest thing that he does that just kind of takes it to makes practice special, or maybe lighten the mood, if you will? Do you have a favorite Jason Freeman story for us?
I can't remember the details of where this game was or who it was against, but he did sing some song in a very impressive country accent on the bus on the way home from a win. That's the.
Do we have a recording of that?
We probably do.
Please, somebody, we need to put that out there.
Yeah. We've got that somewhere, yeah.
All right, Leena, what's your favorite Jason Freeman moment? Was it just something he said, something goofy, or maybe it was something serious? Do you have one that you will say, I look back on this guy and it's like, man, he had a big impact on my life because of that funny joke, or just because of his great heart?
The one thing that stands out to me, and this was actually before I came to Bethel, it was when he was my South Bend Lions coach. We were doing a training session, and we were trying to see if we could do a certain move to get past the defender, and he just pulled me aside and was try letting the ball go through your legs and feinting to beat your defender. We were just supposed to try something that we've never tried before, and I tried it out and it worked, and I was that was really cool.
So that was a good coaching move, right?
Yeah.
All right. Grace, how about you? Do you have a special Jason Freeman moment you'd like to share with our listening audience and viewers?
I think my favorite moments are a him and Tim combination.
Okay. Please share.
I think they're a good duo. My favorite is actually watching Jason's reactions to what Tim says throughout practice. Tim's got a lot of jokes up his sleeve, and Jason's reactions make them better. And so I can't pick a specific one at this point, but I'd say that all the girls enjoy them and gets a good laugh.
All right. In closing, the thing that I think it's important that I want people to really kind of get a thought on, and I'll start with you, Grace. What makes this unit, this team, special?
To be honest, I'm going to shout my class out real quick. My class was the first ones to have Jason come in our freshman year, and we experienced the culture from the team before, and I've watched them behind the scenes praying for the team, going into the locker room, praying over the lockers of the players, of the incoming players, investing in the younger players, working hard on and off the field, the amount of times we've been in the weight room together as a class, coming up to Jason with new team standards and everything. So I think my class has done a lot of work behind the scenes, and those players have a really big heart for the team and heart for the mission that we're here for. So yeah, I'd say my class was a good group to set the standard and to transition the program with the help of Jason.
Kate, you got the final word on that particular topic there. What should people know about Bethel women's soccer?
I feel like I sound like a broken record, but the fact that our team is so Christ-centered, I think that allows us to work hard and work for something bigger than just a championship game or, a winning record. I think that really changes what our team's focus is on.
Two things there. Number one, the fact that you know what a record is. I'm excited about that. And the fact that you know what a broken record does. And this is a good part of a broken record, because if there's something that you want a message that you want to leave with our audience, is that it's a Christ-centered situation. Yeah. Okay, Leena, you're the final thought here. What do you want people to know about Bethel women's soccer?
I just think that we're growing, and I think that that's the coolest thing to be a part of. I know, like, hearing about Bethel before coming, you didn't really, they weren't up there in the list of names, especially in the Crossroads League. But now, as a program, we're growing, and also in, just our development as athletes, but also, spiritually, I think we're growing in every aspect, and I think that's been really cool to see.
Once again, we're glad that you've joined us. A special thanks to Grace Beck, Kate Sherwood, and Leena Thomas, our very special guests. And a thanks again to Jason Freeman, who set this up and allowed us to be here, and to Luke Schrock, Tanner Camp on our team. Thanks to Mia for all the great work here at Bethel University. That's going to do it. Thanks for joining us. And on behalf of all of us at Regional Radio Sports, I'm Paul Condry. God bless you all.